This is the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Final game of the regular season here on UTV 44 and Comcast, and we're back at the Lip for a matchup for one of the greatest rivalries in Mobile, McGill Toolen going up against the Murphy Panthers. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox, as always, my partner Dan Brennan, and Dan, a great rivalry game here tonight, but there's a lot on the line. Murphy already region champions, McGill a win tonight, and they win their region.
Yeah, it's odd that you've got to win a game that's not in your region. First, it's odd that McGill and Murphy are not in the same region, but this year they're not. You have to win a non-region game to win your region, but that's today's math. So follow along. We'll tell you more as we go along with the game. So that may lead you to believe, well, Murphy's already, they are where they are. They're ranked number one in their region, so they know maybe they're going to rest people. Maybe they're not going to be so concerned with this game. Forget about that. The vibe we get from the sideline is exactly the opposite on Murphy's side.
Yeah, both teams talking about it, as a matter of fact, but Murphy kept saying, yeah, but it's still McGill. And, you know, that was kind of what they used all week long. And McGill also feeling that, throw out all the playoff stuff, we got to beat our rival in Murphy, and it's senior night here tonight.
It's senior night tonight. You're right. This has been a great senior class for McGill Toolen, the most wins of any senior class in the history of football at McGill Toolen. Think about that. Of course, Wacker's banged up, the quarterback from McGill. How's that going to play out? They don't even know exactly what he can do on the playing field tonight. We're all going to find out together, Keith Powell and the rest of us watching on TV. Murphy, a very fast, physical defense, too. Not big, but they swarm. Yards are going to be tough to come by for McGill tonight. I really think that it's not going to be an easy opportunities for them offensively. So Murphy brings one of the best defenses you'll see.
Yeah, and both teams, great records. Murphy comes in 8-1, McGill's 7-2. So if McGill wins tonight, they win Region 2, and they open up against Blunt, which is really not a great prize the way Blunt is playing these days. Murphy already knows they're opening up the playoffs next week, hosting Fairhope. So playoffs are here, but now if Murphy wins, we'll have to try to sort out the tiebreaker for you coming up later on the broadcast. But we got a kickoff coming up tonight. Hey, if you were around town and you thought, why is it everybody's rooting for McGill tonight? Why is everybody dressed in orange and black? There are some Murphy fans out there, but of course it is Halloween here tonight, and it's McGill and Murphy here on UTV 44 and Comcast.
Get ready. It's big. It's bigger than big, and it's only at Checkers. The 79-cent Smackdown. Hit up an all-American cheeseburger, just 79 cents. Throw down a juicy hot dog, 79 cents. Kick back with a creamy shake, 79 cents. The 79-cent Smackdown. Every day, only at Checkers.
Gotta eat.
Little place, big taste.
That's Checkers.
Packed house here tonight at the Lip for a matchup between Murphy and McGill. Great rivalry in Mobile. Great Week 10 game. Danny boy, how about this Week 10 of the high school football season?
It always seems to get away from us, doesn't it? One thing we do want to say is much thanks and congratulations to our crew for another great job all year long, providing you with the pictures and the sounds that you see. And
who would have guessed the talent, the pumpkin carving talent on the crew? Did not know that was...
We could do a police lineup, but I could not pick I don't have a person of interest as who was talented enough to do that.
I know we were not even asked to be a part of the meeting when it came to that. There's
McGill Murphy, man, here we go.
McGill Patrick Dolan, who was taking aim at our cameras during warm-up tonight here, will kick off. Murphy back deep to receive. Murphy a little short-handed tonight. We'll talk about that a bunch as Polnitz has this one trying to make some room at the 20, and McGill trying to rip it away, and he's out to the 22. And that's where Murphy will come out, and Murphy some changes offensively. If we look at the starting lineup up front, you got Irwin, Cooper, McLean, Smith, and Wiles in the wide receiving core. Here's where you have some change. You got Polnitz along with Golston. Rackley starts for Solomon Patton. Dan will talk about that in a minute. Harlow Sprand is having a big year there. Rouser, the quarterback, and Jarvis Boone in for the injured Sam Hobson. We'll talk more about that in a moment as well.
Hobson has played well in the games we've seen him at tailback.
Was the player of the week in an earlier Murphy game as Matt Rouser has thrown for over 1,600 yards here in his senior season. As Boone flanked to his right, Rouser pump fakes, not feeling pressure, and he's going to be brought down just across the 20. Good pressure from Brett Matchin, and now a late flag afterwards as well. Matchin came from the backside and pulled him down. As we look at the starting lineup, it's brought to you by Will 2, our McGill defense. Our friend Wes Williams, Benning, Williams, Haynes, and Matchin, who just had the tackle there, along with Lewis, Leatherwood, Clark, and Jones, the linebackers. In the secondary, LeSueur, along with Schneider and Nettles. Those are Will 2 starting lineups, and a 15-yard walk-off against the Jackets.
Was that a celebration penalty?
Came at the end of the play, and Matchin was just showing some high school football emotion after making the big play.
That's what we saw. Now, it's not, we didn't hear everything either. And I didn't exactly hear the call.
And not sure it was on Matchin either, but he just looked like he was celebrating. Didn't see any taunting there, but a first down for Murphy. So he'll hand this one off to Brandon. He's dropped back at the 30-yard line. Charles Benning comes in to make the stop, and on the first two plays, the McGill defense feeling some inspiration, it seems, from this big McGill crowd here on the near sideline.
Yeah, the refs have got all the total yards so far.
2nd and 17. Rouser rolling out, looking. Now he's going to turn the corner. Flag comes in. Looks like where you'd see a hold or a block in the back, and Rouser again brought down by Benning at the 33.
Hey, Rouser's a really tough kid. We like him a lot. Former running back and forced into quarterback duty. And he's had a really good year, too. But Rouser, there you go. They like to get him on the edge, Jim, and it's not really rolling out of the pocket because it's almost vertical. But that way he's got some better lanes to throw because he's 5'8", 5'9" at the most. So sometimes when he's in a pocket, it's really not the best place for him.
That's a great point. That's why they do get him out to both sides. Likes to run to the near side of it's at the near hash to his right, and the holding call makes it 2nd and 27. Now they'll put him on the other side of the pressure coming. Fires over the middle, and it's tipped. Keith Leatherwood, linebacker, got a hand on that one.
I'll tell you, they're having some trouble matching up with Matchin on the outside. 11, he's a rangy guy. He's not huge. Goes maybe 200 pounds or so. There's Ron Lee. He had quite a day yesterday, I'll tell you that. His entire Murphy program did. And we'll get into that when we have a chance.
3rd and 27 coming up here. 8 interceptions thrown this year by Rouser. And he's looking to the near side, looking for the streak for Polnitz, who's got it at the 40, and they'll say he's out of bounds at the 42. What a throw by Rouser. And Raphael Polnitz with his 35th catch of the year, and our Heritage Homes Instant Replay will show you it's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, Kendrick LeSueur is an excellent DB, and he's in pretty good position, but what a throw by Rouser.
39 yards. And
Polnitz has a step, and the ball is right there, and you turn a 3rd and long into a first down in McGill territory.
that was 3rd and 27 they convert. Boone up the middle. Now he's down to the 33.
There's their first attempt at even rushing up the middle, and it goes for, looks like another first down.
Hey, Dan, let's talk for a second to Solomon Patton, a kid we love to watch play, a real talented junior, not in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, great kid, too, and had some chest discomfort yesterday, and he's got a condition that they're monitoring already. I'll tell you more after this play.
Rouser steps up in the pocket. Now he's got a little room on the right side. Cuts it inside the 20. Still on his feet at the 10. 5 touchdown, Matt Rouser, 31 yards. And Murphy on top. Rouser with his 12th rushing touchdown of the year.
There's the running back in Rouser. We talked about it. Boy, he saw that lane and cut back, and then he's not a quarterback. He's a running back.
And there were 5 McGill players on this side. He had a little room, but I thought it was going to...
He's strong enough to break tackles, too, Jim. He's built more like a running back. He's compact.
Look at the orange jerseys over here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The jerseys are there. 2 guys really get a shot at him. Murphy's late getting a guy on.
Boots kick is good, and it's 7-0. A 3rd and 27 converted turns into a 7-0 Murphy lead.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Jackie Moon here tonight.
I found that, I got enough laughs out of that movie for my money's worth. I mean, it's no one was saying Oscar time, but this is Will Ferrell. This is a little bit of fun. It's a great outfit. I like the deodorant commercials more than anything.
Those and really the only one on the crew that can get away with wearing a tank top. So now McGill going to try to answer back with Jeremy Jones, and he has got a lot of speed right up the middle, runs into a host of Panthers, but he's out to the 35 to start things off. And let's look at the Region 2 standings here. McGill, Foley, Daphne, and Fairhope all going to the playoffs. As you can see, McGill, Foley, and Daphne 5-1. If McGill wins here tonight, they will be region champs. If Murphy wins, then it's a coin toss between Daphne, Foley, and McGill.
Where you find that coin, I don't know.
So we'll talk more about that as the night goes on. And Cullen Wacker at quarterback comes out here. We were here 2 weeks ago and saw him run to the near side as that drive, 5 plays, 78 yards, was capped off by the 31-yard rush. We saw him come to the near side and pull up with what looked like a pulled hamstring.
Or worse.
Didn't play last week. And a lot of talk whether he had played this week. And he's out here for the Yellow Jackets, really their leader just on all levels on that side of the football. Pitch it off. Burrell lost. He'll pick up a couple. And let's take a look at the Region 1 standings. Murphy, your champions, they open up against Fairhope. Davidson, Theodore, and Blunt playing great. If McGill wins, they open up against Blunt.
Yeah, they're just kind of crisscrossing.
Yeah, Boley, the quote-unquote Baldwin County region that has McGill in it. They are playing the Mobile region. And we'll talk more about some of those playoff matchups as they get a little closer throughout the evening here. Wacker this side, dangerous pass, but nicely completed valet over to the near side, and that's going to be good for a first down and then 15 more. There's some rough stuff at the end of that play. Jordan Spriggs was over there. Looks like the officials maybe just trying to keep the emotions in check.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, and run.
One observation I would make, Jim, right away is that we haven't seen Wacker run the ball yet or even attempt to run it.
Right, let's take a look at these playoffs. We got Blunt, who again would play. Whoever wins this region, if McGill wins, they get it. And then you got whoever comes in second will open up against Davidson. That could be Fairhope, and then, or I should say that could be Foley, then Fairhope, Murphy, then Theodore could open up against Daphne if Murphy wins here tonight. And I'm not sure I've done anything to avoid the confusion.
I don't think you can. I mean, you could explain it 9 times and there's still confusion, but what it really comes down to is there's a lot of teams that could beat each other on any given night.
Well, and one team from Mobile or Baldwin County is going to the semifinals.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yes.
One team is one out of the 8 are coming out of here, and they're going to be playing one game from a chance to go to state. And one of those teams is going to be involved in that's not playing here tonight is the Foley Lions, and Todd Watson, their coach, is going to be our guest at halftime. 2nd and 6 as the Yellow Jackets now moving it down the field to the 25.
I'll tell you what's impressive, Jim, is they're doing it without Wacker. They're doing it without Wacker running the ball.
Wheel 2 starting lineups, Pycooch, Powell, Harris, Hartley, and Henriksen up front for the Yellow Jackets. Jeremy Jones and Quentin Petty Jones, so dangerous. Valet had the catch, and Doug Jones there at tight end as well. Wacker, Burrell, and Tevin Lomax. And, of course, we're going to see Elijah Peters in that backfield as well. Wacker to the near side, complete. Valet at the 20 in the defense for Murphy. Green, Thomas, and Hennenberg up front. This is a fast defense, and here's where the speed comes from. Powell, Mason, LePayne, maybe one of Dan's favorite players at middle linebacker. Patterson and Powell on the other outside. Jackson Dale and Spriggs in the secondary. Those are Murphy Panther starters, brought to you by Will 2. Our good friend Wes Williams, of course, McGill alum, here tonight. Had a good chat with him pregame. Inside handoff to Tevin Lomax. It's an impressive drive, as you said, Dan, when you said doing it without Wacker, doing it without one of the things that makes Cullen Wacker so dangerous.
Yeah, they're not running any option with Wacker, so kind of protecting him in a way, but he's still making plays with his arm.
There's Tevin Lomax, the fullback.
You just got to credit the offensive line of McGill right now. There's Coach Keith Powell. He's got to be pleased with the way the guys are firing off the ball right now, because this Murphy defense is, everybody's had a hiccup or two during the year, but basically they've been a great defense.
1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets out of the shotgun. Wacker to Burrell right up the middle. McGill moving it on the ground right up the middle.
Not a big line for McGill Toolen. They've had bigger in the past few years, but they are working on quickness and trap blocks and getting some good yardage right over center.
Pycooch 218, Powell 222, Harris 198, Hartley 212, and Henriksen, the big guy on the right side, at the right tackle spot at 245. Pick up a 4 and play clock down under 5. Burrell trying to get to the right side, and he'll be stopped. And let's get our first Wenzel sideline report from Al Wheaton. Good evening, Al.
Thank you, Jim. Yes, it is Halloween night, trick or treat. It's definitely going on. A little trick and a little treating down here on the sidelines. You know the treat for Murphy, hey, they've already wrapped it up, but a nice treat for McGill if they get this win tonight and lock down Region 2. Also want to let you know, I've seen a few snooping faces in the house tonight. Saw some coaches from Davidson, some from Foley, from Theodore. Maybe they're scouting these guys for some future playoff matchups, Jim.
And you can bet they have their video recorders going for tonight's game as well. Jeremy Jones in motion on 3rd and 6 for the Jackets. They'll look that side, and it's intercepted by Spriggs at the goal line. Jordan Spriggs picks it off, and he's pulled down inside the 5. And a costly red zone turnover by the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that hurt him against Foley big time, too. Kind of turned that game around. Last week, or a couple of weeks back against Foley, it was a lineman who would drop back in a zone blitz. He went away from the line of scrimmage, but that time it's the cornerback, Spriggs. He should be clearly right there. Jordan Spriggs right in Wacker's vision. He just makes a play on it, makes the cut.
That's his 3rd interception of the year.
I got to tell you, too, though, credit for McGill Toolen. That could be a very big play by Henriksen, who makes a tackle back inside the 5.
Spriggs comes up with the INT. At the 8th thrown by Cullen Wacker. And a timeout taken by McGill. And we'll take a break as well. Boy, it's a good one. Playing for the Cannon. McGill and Murphy on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Murphy with a 7-0 lead. Impressive drive when they opened up. McGill equally impressive, except a turnover and a Cullen Wacker interception down near the goal line. And here's Rouser. Rouser lost the football. Let's see who comes out of the pile with it. Looks like Murphy. 2nd down.
Getting back to the Solomon Patton story, the great junior receiver. Chest discomfort yesterday in the hospital with tests done most of the day, and from that he's kind of sore today. He was cleared to play if they wanted him to, but they said no, we're going to shut it down at least for this week for Solomon Patton.
So hopefully he's in that. Hopefully he's back in the lineup for their game against Fairhope. And movement on the right side, Alex Wiles and Sam Hobson, the starting tailback, who Dan alluded to has had some good games. He likes the Friday night lights. Had a mild
half the distance to go.
Mild concussion, and actually he was cleared to play tonight as well, but just taking some precautions. Coach Ron Lee.
Week 10. Guys got hit a lot.
Yep.
Up to this point.
2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Bowser, inside handoff. Here's Jarvis Boone. Got a great block on the far side, and he's going to have the 1st down as well. That is Raphael Polnitz, who laid a great block over on the far side of the field. Matter of fact, we have an injured Yellow Jacket over there.
Right here. Bang. I'm telling you what. Blindsided. Down goes Kyle Jones, who's pursuing the play.
They threw a flag.
On that block?
They threw a flag right there. Boy, hit him. It was kind of helmet to helmet, but it did look like he may have, he had the helmet in front of the body. It wasn't a block from behind. It didn't appear.
It was a vicious block, and it was certainly somebody that never saw it coming. Boy. Kyle Jones shuts it down for the night. I think we'd all understand, huh?
Boy, how about the intensity on the field between these two teams to start?
No doubt.
Watch our Heritage Homes instant replay.
24.
Right side of your screen.
Jones is up.
Boy, and
he may have no idea where he is, but he's up.
Just the
look at him.
He'll come out for a play and looks like he may be back there, but it's the ones you don't see coming. Those are
man. I guess let's see what the call is on this, Jim. If it's just it wasn't a block in the back, didn't appear.
A block in the back on the offense. Half distance to go.
Wow.
Second down.
I mean, that was the only block that was over there.
Well, it was the one that everybody noticed.
5-yard line.
When we looked at the wide shot, and I think it was just almost sometimes, officials see such a collision, they think something had to be not right, and there's a big stick by LeSueur, and another one is Carlos Brand.
I tell you, I don't know that we've seen a game yet this year with this intensity and this hitting. Leatherwood comes flying in there. This is kind of like they only waited one play for a payback on that hit.
Watch LeSueur. He puts a big hit on, and now Carlos Brand spins away.
Bang.
Still McGill.
Yeah, Leatherwood.
Still Murphy.
You're right. You're right. Leatherwood cleans things up there.
And that's Marty McDowell split to the bottom of your screen. Rouser on the left side on 3rd and 5. Sneaks through the hole, and he's going to have a Murphy first down.
You got to wrap up on Rouser. That is a running back that happens to play quarterback.
And he's so thick from the waist down, it's tough when you grab him up around the shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got that running back instinct, and that he knows he's going to break a tackle or two, and he generally does.
Again, if you're joining us tonight, just recently, Murphy, Region 1 champs. This one skipped on the near side, trying to come to Golston. McGill in a tie with 2 other teams, the other teams being Foley and Daphne atop Region 2. But McGill, if they win, first tiebreaker that could be used tonight is overall record, and McGill would have that with head-to-head coming into play, but Foley only playing 9 games. And it really, I asked Todd Watson today on the phone, and we'll ask him at halftime and say, you 1, 2, 3, where you're seated. I said, in the big picture, does it matter? And he said no. He said, there's 8 teams in Mobile and Baldwin County, and any of them can beat you.
I agree.
Sometimes there's coach speak.
Yeah.
That isn't it in this case.
Yeah, there's probably 9 because of Williamson out of the playoffs.
That's right. That's a rarity for a Bobby Parrish coach team. Matter of fact, I can't remember the last time Williamson did not make the playoffs.
That's got to break a streak. Probably starting back with Jamarcus Russell as a freshman.
I was going to say, I think it's been, this is Bobby Parrish's 10th year there. Might have been 9 in a row. Or
I'd sign off on that.
Rouser fires it over the middle. He's got Carlos Brand with a good catch to climb the ladder. And first down across the midfield stripe.
Boy, even with Patton gone, they've got talented receivers at Murphy, don't they? I mean, just guys, they can shuffle people in there that can make plays at wideout. Brand is one of those guys that we don't usually highlight before the game, and then during the game, you're thinking, hey, 4 is pretty good too.
Yeah, why didn't we talk about this young man?
Yeah.
Jarvis Boone squirts on the left side, now down to the 37-yard line. When this Murphy offense gets going and they get in that rhythm, we saw the Murphy game, Murphy-Theodore game we did a few weeks ago, Dan. Theodore really controlled the ball and the clock. As here's Rouser again, and he's got another Murphy first down, but Theodore controlled the clock so much, Murphy never could get that rhythm, that feel going.
Yeah, when they got back on the field, it'd always been 6, 8, 10 minutes since they'd been on the field, and the offense never really got in sync. And consequently, Theodore just controlling the football and having it was able to win the game.
Minute and a half to go. Rouser floats this one a bit, and it's caught by Brand, and he breaks the tackle, and he's in for the touchdown. Zach Schneider had him just outside the 5. That one kind of hung up in the air for a minute, but it was right there to Brand, who makes the reception, and that's his 3rd touchdown.
And I'll say it again, Jimmy. Once again, you've got a playmaker right there. So Rouser sees what he has. He's got one-on-one in the middle of the field with Brandon Schneider, and he says, I like my guys' chances of coming down with this football.
A team Coot on for the point after from Somalia. Murphy takes advantage of the turnover. They lead at 14-0. Battle of Midtown here tonight on UTV 44. Come.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Murphy on top 14-0 here at the lip. Marched it down on their opening drive, then got an interception down deep in their own end.
Quite a drive.
Drive it back and get the score. We'll give you the scoring drive recap momentarily here.
Jeremy Jones deep for McGill. He's got some speed on the orange and black side. Keep an eye on him.
Jared Reed to kick off, and Jones at the 10. Jones up the middle, and oh boy, drug down across the 25 to about the 27. Let's look at our LA Body Art scoring drive here. 10 plays, 96 yards, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And Rouser had a 31-yard touchdown run to open it up when Murphy had the ball. This time it's a 30-yard touchdown pass to Harlos Brand. And take a look at Matt Rouser so far here tonight, Dan.
5 of 7, 105 yards. Also rushing for 57 yards. He's accounted for a touchdown throwing and running, and now
162 yards total offense for him in the first quarter.
Now there's Cullen Wacker, who looks like he's kind of shut it down as far as running today.
And he pitches the option to Jeremy Jones out of the backfield, and watch out. Jones with the speed, but that is one equalizer that Murphy has defensively on a lot of teams. They are fast, but Jeremy Jones rips off a first down from McGill.
There's so many athletes on the field tonight. You know, it's just really fun to watch. And when, you know, again, Wacker right there at least running the option a little bit, but no one is buying that Wacker's running. If you look at that, it's amazing that great blocking, because Jones was undefended, but Wacker was basically undefended as well.
37 yards for Jeremy Jones. They'll have to get the ball to him. We'll see him at quarterback some tonight as well. They got a package. This one goes through Wacker's hands, and Wacker at the bottom of the pile.
If you got that, it's a miracle.
Who knows what's going on at the bottom of that pile right now. Murphy's got it.
Wow.
2 turnovers on McGill.
Wacker begs to disagree, by the way.
The officials are second down. McGill's going to keep it.
Oh, my goodness. What an appeal.
Well, it is political season, and I tell you, some lobbying being done by Cullen Wacker there.
How did that happen? Now, he may have actually come up with the football upon the replay. I'm just looking at these 2 big bodies coming in. I'm just thinking that'd be one tough guy for him to get it.
You know, he was on the bottom, and Norman Green was above him, and it's like Wacker. That's why I said you don't know what's.
Well, I just don't know how you reverse that call. I mean, what's going through their mind to be able to say no?
Second down, Wacker steps up all kinds of time over the middle, and it's through the hands of Markel Gardner and incomplete, and now 3rd and 16 coming up.
He was open. Streaking with a post pattern right down the middle. Wacker found him. Keith Powell, no one's crazy about 3rd and 16. They've got the weapons to get it.
First drive of the game, we saw McGill Murphy complete a 3rd and 27.
I'll say this about Wacker too. While he's not running with the football, that gives you one indication that, you know, he's banged up a little bit, but he's not hobbling out there either.
Not at all. Wacker steps up. Now he's going to try to run it. Trying to get to the outside, still looking, fires it off, and that's incomplete. And now a late hit put on here, and the officials keep the laundry in the pocket as Tremichael Dale put a hit on Jeremy Jones at the end of the play.
That throw skipped to the ground, and again, this is some of this intensity that we've noticed.
It's like a playoff game right now.
Yeah, it's kind of curious when they're deciding to throw the flag and when they're not. Watch on this right here. He's just kind of sitting duck there, gets whacked in the back.
Maybe Murphy got that block in the back penalty they shouldn't have, and they maybe should have had one there. Now Toolen, the great kick. Maybe too good. Will it go in the end zone? Nope, it'll be taken back at the 2 by Polnitz, and he'll be stopped right about there. Boy, he's got to let that one take your chances on bouncing into the end zone.
I don't know what's so complicated about that.
And we'll take a timeout. Boy, we got a good one. We are through one quarter here. Murphy McGill, huge intensity on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Halloween night here. McGill, Toolen, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Al Wheaton on the sidelines. Our entire UTV 44 crew headed up by Jared Kihas. Did I see Jared with a sombrero on? I thought I saw.
You did see Jared with a sombrero on.
But that has nothing to do, it's just kind of every week. He likes to wear the sombrero in the truck. Out across the 5.
McGill not only needs to stop, like you were saying during the break, maybe they need a turnover right here. They got to get something going, at least flip the field position with a stop here. Murphy's drives have been big plays drives, not little by little. McGill drove it one time, and it was, a brick here and a brick there.
2nd and 9. Rouser on the right side fires it off. Brand steps out of bounds. And got a flag.
Pass is complete to number 4. Carlos Brand spins it out.
Holding call will be a half the distance penalty.
3rd and 7.
Maybe they just decline it. I think you just decline it here if you're McGill.
Say, hey. On the offense, penalty refused.
Yeah.
Third down.
Yeah.
Short gain there. Take the down.
Give your defense one assignment. McGill's hurt themselves on these one play and get off the field downs. Gave up a big 3rd and 27 that broke their back on that first drive. Rouser made a play to Polnitz.
3rd and 8. Rouser fires it over the middle into double coverage. It's incomplete. Schneider was there to knock it away as Golson was streaking down the field, and now Murphy will have to punt from deep in their own end zone.
Love number 1 back here, Jeremy Jones.
He is a game changer.
Yeah, he's the guy on the McGill side that can match up with all that speed that Murphy's got.
Hey, while I have a second, I want to say hello. I know Frank Lotta, Heritage Homes, watching the game tonight, been just under the weather all week long, feeling a little bit better today.
Glad to hear that.
Quarantined from the trick-or-treaters, he said, however. So he was watching the game tonight. Hopefully Frank's feeling better.
So it wasn't a week of sampling the mini Clark bars for him, huh?
I don't. Maybe if he would have maybe got into him real early in the week. Rouser, sky-high kick. Jones will take it. Lost it. Had a knee down, and at the 39 is where McGill will start with great field position. High school football tonight here on UTV 44, being brought to you by Harbor Communications. And also by the Orthopedic Group. And our friends Wenzel's Oyster House. Just bringing the sideline report. Wheel 2. Our friend Wes Williams down here on the sidelines taking in tonight's game. Saw he and Father Shields and McGill having a little chat before the contest.
Some of the heads of state. Cabinet meeting.
Yeah. Wacker sells the play fake. Now dumps it out of the backfield. Jeremy Jones dropped it. Oh, he had him right in the seam. Boy, did Wacker sell that one to perfection.
Yeah, and then he took his time because Jones wasn't open immediately. But when Jones got around, watch it. Wacker's going to throw it right here. Not ready. Now he is. Now look at that. It's kind of a wheel play where basically you got Jones almost as a running back, but he comes around like an end around and just keeps on going.
Wacker had to wait because he had the outside linebacker there on him, and he had to get a little separation and throw it over his head. So 2nd and 10. Burrell up the middle. Rumbles forward to the 34.
They've had some success between the tackles, and this Murphy defense is not real big. They are real fast. But the Jackets are still in a tough spot here, 3rd and 5, though. You've got Dolan as a kicker. That's one option, and it's more than likely, if you don't want to go that route, 2-down territory here. Well, great atmosphere here tonight.
It really is. The Murphy side is full. McGill side is packed. The bands are blaring.
The end zone is packed.
The Yellow Jackets right down in front of us. Love our vantage point here, Danny Boy. Wacker on the pitch to the near side and inside the 30. Valet coming around, and he's going to pick up the first down. If you have not been to the Lip here, Oscar Lipscomb Stadium Complex, it is a treat.
Beautiful place to watch a game.
UTV44.com is your place to go at the end of tonight's contest. You can vote on the player of the game. We'll have selections for you all throughout the game. Halftime, we'll have our player of the week from last week, our game over in Escambia County. Up the middle is Tevin Lomax. Lomax to about the 23.
Got a big bruising running back in Elijah Peters. We haven't seen handle the ball, I don't think, at all tonight so far. Lomax at fullback's gotten it a few times. Peters he's a weapon now, but his playing time has been spotty for reasons we're not privy to.
He's got 499 yards coming in tonight. He's over on the McGill sidelines, but there's Tevin Lomax. Big fullback with Burrell behind him. Saying this new McGill Stadium, this is their first year playing it in. Fans and us alike right on top of the action. Lomax on the right side. It's going to be close to another McGill first down. You just really get the feel for the game so much more the way they've built this, Dan, with the proximity to the press box in the field.
Yeah, you really. I mean, the folks at the railing are right there near the bench. You don't have it's not encircled by a track like some old high school footballs are. That leaves you further away from the action.
That was good for a McGill first down. Cullen Wacker, again, a lot of talk whether he would play or not coming into tonight's game.
Take away the pick. He's playing well.
Did not play in last week's win over Baldwin County. Here's Burrell with a huge hole, and he spins down to the 10-yard line and takes a big hit as he gets there.
Well, it's all about Powell and Harris and Hartley right now. I mean, these guys are just gashing Murphy.
The second, just a couple here for the Yellow Jackets. Now they were down here on their first drive, and Cullen Wacker threw the interception right down near the goal line. On the option, he's got Jeremy Jones with him. Wacker's going to keep it, and Wacker knocked down to the goal line. He's inside the one. He saw the end zone. He said, I know I've got a bad hamstring, and coach said I should pitch it, but I'm going for the end zone.
Every time he goes down, I know McGill Toolen fans just waiting for him to get back up. And he does with no noticeable degree of discomfort there. Here's Wacker again. You can see really just kind of still what he's trying to run with some speed. You can see the gimpiness in the leg.
Put it at the one. Wacker will give it. Burrell is hit. Driven to, just outside the goal line. Get a good look at our field camera from the end zone there, looking at the trees surrounding the Lip.
It'll be second and goal.
Second and goal coming up. How about all the CYO games they have here? How about the young kids? You think they're enjoying playing at this complex, Dan?
Got to be exciting.
Wacker on the keeper, goes over, got a big hit, but he crossed the line as well. He was met just as he came across the goal line by a leaping Emmanuel Mason, the linebacker, but Wacker just broke the plane. That's all he needed to do, and that's his 9th rushing touchdown of the season.
Big score for McGill Toolen right there.
Nothing coming easy on either side of the ball physically for these teams here tonight. Andrew Dolan for the PAT. And it's 14-7, Murphy and McGill doing battle. Of course it's a good game. It's the game of the week on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
That's a Friday night in South Alabama right there. Packed crowd. Keith Powell on the McGill sidelines.
He's trying to figure out his team was going to keep up with all that Murphy speed. Doing the best they can right now, 14-7.
Murphy band's got the best seat in the house, I think, Dan.
I'll tell you what, this is just great atmosphere here tonight.
Thursday night, there's a chance that Foley and Davidson could be playing here. This is where Davidson plays their home games. Dan and I were saying before the game, that's where we're going to be sitting for that one. Not in the end zone.
Check that thing out.
Toolen sends this one 6 yards deep, and Murphy will start at the 20. Take a look at our LA Body Art scoring drive. 9 plays, 39 yards, just under 4 minutes, with Cullen Wacker getting the touchdown.
Everything kind of started with Lucas Polnitz, who fair caught that ball back inside his 5-yard line.
Right.
Put Murphy in a bad spot offensively.
Had to punt out of their end zone.
They had to punt out of their end zone. They got a 3 and out. Good job by the McGill defense. They didn't get the turnover, but they did get the flip of field position.
Rouser, a little trouble on the exchange, decided to keep this one. He's pulled down by Elliott Clark.
Ball down at the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Approaching the halfway point, quarter number 2. Rouser pump fakes, and now we're going to get a whistle before.
We got an early whistle.
Just got I'll tell you after.
Red ball. Ball start on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Tell you what's going on at UJ Chevrolet right now. Had a good talk with Bud Urquhart today. Always one of my favorite parts of a Friday, chatting with Bud. Factory rebates to $8,000. Interest rates as low as 0%. Nobody on the Gulf Coast sells more Chevys than UJ. Mobile's only pre-owned Chevy dealer. 5-year free 100,000-mile warranty is to the near side. Polnitz tries to break a tackle, but a good job by LeSueur to just grab a hold of that ankle and trip him up.
They've got Polnitz in LeSueur's, under LeSueur's watch tonight, if you'll notice. He's a very fine defensive back, Kendrick LeSueur.
Polnitz, a senior, one of the speedy tandem of outside receivers. Talked about Solomon Patton and him not playing tonight as Rouser fires this one across the middle. It's dropped by Rackley. Blanket coverage there. Brandon Nettles all over Demetrius Rackley. That'll bring on the punt team. So back-to-back 3 and outs here for McGill's defense. And a chance again for good field position. We look at our Heritage Homes instant replay, and Rackley can't hold on.
Yeah. Nice play by Nettles. He never gave up on it. You know, he just kept scrapping with Rackley, hoping it would come loose, and it did. And you're right, 2 straight 3 and outs after McGill was giving up some big plays on those first Murphy drives.
Rouser at the 15. Good kick, and Jeremy Jones will have to scramble to try to catch up to this one, and does at the 31. Jones up the left side with a lot of speed, sheds a tackle. Watch Jeremy Jones. Jeremy Jones, a 70-yard touchdown, and McGill has tied this one up if they convert the PAT.
Some guys, a lot of guys are fast. Jones seems to be one of those guys that has the burst, that he just kicks into another gear. And man, I'm telling you, this was laid out for him.
Once he got the seam up the middle, there was no one but to catch him, but he broke the tackle up high around the collar, plowed right through that, and Jones will hold on the PAT for Toolen. And how loud was it here on the McGill sidelines?
Boy, a lot of people excited at South Alabama that Jeremy Jones has verbally committed to the new Jaguar program.
Toolen ties it up, and 14 unanswered by the Yellow Jackets. We got a good one. It's Halloween night here on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Boy, we're seeing the tricks and the treats.
Yeah, we sure are.
Here tonight. 14-14. Murphy was out on top 14-0. McGill here at home has rallied back. And really, the McGill defense, 2 quick 3 and outs. And you mentioned flipping the field position. That one Jones took at the 30 on the 70-yard run back.
That'll flip field position when they never touch it just about.
While we wait for Toolen to kick off. Hey, loyal viewers, Robin and Burley Shed watch every game. Robin Shed has a daughter, has a niece, Olivia Hansry, cheering on the Murphy sideline tonight, and she was excited that this game was the game of the week here tonight, so seeing her niece's team in action tonight, and now they're tied 14-14 with the Yellow Jackets. It's amazing how many people you talk to during the week. I know, Dan, and morning show, and just so many people that watch these games on Friday nights.
Well, it's amazing. And I think one of the ways you can gauge it, too, is by the number of people who are now mad at us. Why aren't you doing our game? It's like, hey, I'm glad it matters.
Rouser on the rollout. Gets it off to Brand. He's knocked out of bounds by LeSueur at the 27. Second and 2. Near side, and Boone will be knocked out of bounds. And hey, Dan, you know, we can't help but think about our third partner. We lost recently, Coach Cornelius Brown. We went to the funeral on Tuesday, and boy, what a special service that was, and how much did we learn about the man Cornelius Brown on the ceremony Tuesday afternoon.
We're saying we got on the tank train a little bit late, you know, on Coach Brown.
Rouser up the middle. Now he slips a tackle, breaks another one, and he's at midfield, slowed down and all the way to the 37.
Well, how much?
33 yards before Jones is able to ride him down.
How much Tank Brown would have loved watching this game and doing this game with us. To watch Rouser run again on our Heritage Homes replay. We really did, Jim. We got to learn so much more about him for the people who've known him for so very long.
Rouser zips that one up, tipped and incomplete, and we knew so much about him as the coach and as a friend that we got to know him over the past couple of years. But boy, what a huge part of so many lives he was in his community.
From the very start, too, we learned from his cousin that from the very start he was looking out for kids younger than him, including his cousin who was preaching the service.
Turning the corners, Jarvis Boone, and he streaks to the near sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 10.
Great block by Polnitz on the outside again, and that's what got him loose. It looked like they kind of had it contained.
29 yards for Boone. That's the second great block we've seen from Polnitz on the outside. Rouser cuts it back up the middle. He's going to be inside to 5. Polnitz, another family that Coach knew so well and knew so much about.
He knew so many of these kids and their families and where they came from and their mommies and daddies. And it was quite a service, quite a ceremony. And our hearts and prayers continue to go out to the Brown family and so much of that community in Pritchard and areas of Mobile that Tank touched.
Standing room only.
We've been at 2 standing room only events this week. Coach Tank's funeral service at the Missionary Baptist Church on DIP, and now tonight's game.
3rd and goal here for Murphy. Rouser gonna keep it himself right up the middle, falls forward, touchdown Panthers. Back and forth we go.
Number 6, Rouser on the keeper.
Heritage Homes replay. Matt Rouser hit. Jordan Haynes was just trying to strip that ball loose, but Rouser, his 2nd touchdown on the ground here tonight. A Team Coot on for the PAT.
That's how tough Rouser is. He carries a 250-pound lineman into the end zone with him.
And he's got it. And Murphy answers right back. They lead it 21-14 here on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV-44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week. You're watching the UTV-44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Murphy answers the counterpunch of McGill's back-to-back scoring drives.
Watching Wacker on the sidelines. He's just loading his revolver with bullets. He's getting ready to get back in the game and get the ball back with certainly enough time for McGill to make some noise before halftime.
Again, halftime we'll have Coach Todd Watson, Foley coach. I would guess Mark Lassiter is probably here tonight as well, with his team winning last night and opening up against Murphy. Maybe we'll see if we can get Coach Lassiter maybe slip up with us here in the fourth quarter. And
be great to see Mark. Well, they're scoring some points right now at Fairhope.
Jamal Woodyard had 5 touchdowns last night. Jeremy Jones, after his 70-yard touchdown, he's out across the 30, maybe the 31. There's that 80 yards, minute 50, finished off by Rouser's touchdown. And now McGill will come back.
Wacker's moving a lot better than I expected tonight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if we didn't know, if we weren't here 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't know you wouldn't know he was injured.
Every now and then when you see him trying to sprint, trying to carry the ball himself like he wasn't into the end zone, you can see a bit of a gimp in that run, but otherwise, now in an I formation.
Lomax on the left side to about the 36-yard line. Also, Murphy graduate John Nicholas told me he's going to be watching the game tonight over in Orange Beach, checking out this evening's Murphy-McGill game.
I can just guarantee you there are a lot of people watching this game. And just in the phone calls I got at 95 KSJ this morning with people checking in on what game was going to be on tonight to clarify that.
Pump fake by Wacker. Touch pass down the sideline. He's got Valet inside the 30, 20, and all the way down to the 15.
That has got just enough speed to get by you.
.49 yards. Wacker to Valet, and the little pump, and then freezes the DB and lays it in there nicely.
Yeah, one of the better corners around, and Jordan Spriggs, and they haven't looked to Valet long. They don't very often, so if you do film study, you're thinking 14 is your possession guy. He's not going to go long, but they trick him there. There's your trick and your tree.
On the option, keeping it is Wacker, turns it at the 10, and he's caught from behind. Picks up 5. Dale rides him down. You know, both these teams are very good defensively as well. And you see,
you wouldn't know it tonight, would you?
You're on the verge of some big points being put up here in the first half.
Wacker's put together, boy. I'll tell you one thing. He's done some time in the weight room and
up to about 208.
He can't outrun you now because of the leg injuries.
But he'd rather just run over you anyway than outrun you.
He'd rather get to the end zone one way or the other. And they need it here.
His mom actually works over at Murphy High School. Wacker down to about the 6. Hey, want to remind you, coming up at the end of tonight's game, we'll give you some selections for the UTV 44 Player of the Game, brought to you by Harbor Communications and Spectrum Collision. And at midnight tonight, 11:59? Midnight tonight, you can start voting at UTV44.com for this week's Player of the Week. Have our recipient from Scambia High School coming up tonight at halftime from last week's game.
One of the biggest upsets since the Jets over the Colts in '69.
Wacker, touchdown Yellow Jackets. With a flare at the end.
Yes, he kind of lets you know. I told you, I saw him on the sidelines, Jim, and he was just biding his time, waiting till, okay, now it's going to be our football.
And he sold the play fake in the middle and takes it just off right tackle, and he's in for his second touchdown of the night, 10th rushing touchdown of the year.
Great job by that offensive line again.
How about the game? It's 21-20. We got a minute and a half to go in quarter number 2.
Track me.
And that one limps over. Barely makes it over by Dolan. It's 21-21. What a battle here tonight at the lip. It's a game of the week. Boy, we have had great games each and every week here on UTV 44 and Comcast. And, got a lot of folks that are glad to bring you these games each and every week, including our friends at Chris Myers Nissan, Highway 98 in Daphne. Also Spectrum Collision, bringing you the player of the week each week. And our drive of the week every week brought to you by our drive of the each scoring drive each week brought to you by LA Body Art. And visit them on the web there. Also Music and Sound Center. They'll bring you our halftime show. We'll have a couple of great bands at the half. Encore Rehabilitation. Big part of high school football all around. Skipper and Story Walters, they bring you the pregame show every week. Saw Skipper here at tonight's game. And, of course, our friends at Comcast Cable. Minute 33 to go in quarter number 2. And we've had 42 points put on the board thus far. And, Dolan has made Murphy start at the 20 every time he's kicked off, but it hadn't mattered.
No, it has not mattered. And Murphy has been the one with the big plays. McGill has chiseled their way down the field a little bit more.
Of course, McGill had the big special teams play.
Yeah, the big special teams play with Jones, and also the big play right there. Wacker, the long pass to Valet that helped set up that Wacker touchdown. Talk about room for halftime adjustments. Both defensive coordinators going to be working overtime.
You can tell the offensive coordinators just keep going. Pressure. Haynes is there. Also Charles Benning. He's been in the backfield a fair amount tonight.
Yeah, when Rouser's got it and he's got some momentum and he runs like a running back, but he's just like anybody else when he's in the pocket trying to find something happening. When they collapse that pocket, you can get him down to the ground.
Big Herb Williams making sure he wasn't going to come to the right side.
First time they get him, and it was out of the pocket.
And right up the middle, here's Boone lowering the shoulder at the 25. Jarvis Boone, just a sophomore, 5'6", 189.
Yeah, that's compact. Had a big run on that last Murphy scoring drive.
Murphy just may be glad to take it tied up here, not in big hurry. The 40 seconds. Rouser now wants to air it out down the right side. That one is tipped away. Trying to go to Rackley. Over there on the coverage was Brandon Nettles. Rouser put a lot of air into that one.
Sure did. One-on-one coverage back there. We got to get some playmakers at wide receiver, see if they can make the play.
Now, so you go for the big pass here on 3rd and 5, and you stop the clock, and now you have to punt it to Jeremy Jones with 34 seconds left.
Thinking about the same thing. And
of course, I guess if you run it and you're stopped, McGill's going to use a timeout, and you're going to have to kick to Jones anyway.
Right. But they didn't go for the first down. They went for all the marbles. And in fairness, they had what they wanted, one-on-one.
High kick, and Jeremy Jones will fair catch it at the 46-yard line. So good field position for McGill to start it out here. Can they take the lead? They have not led in this game. Harbor Communications bringing you high school football tonight and all season long on UTV 44 and Comcast. Also Heritage Homes. Frank Lott and all of our friends bringing the instant replay all season, and also UJ Chevrolet, Bud Urquhart, watching our game this evening. And thanks to Bud and his support over the years and this season. And do want to remind everybody as well, this is our last live Friday night game. Yep. We'll talk more about what happens when the playoffs start.
They're about 25 yards or so from giving Dolan a chance.
Wacker floats it over the middle. He's got Ballet again, and Ballet is at that 25-yard window all the way down to the 27. And they'll hurry. Got a ball boy who's on the field, and now they wave him off, and they have to get it set. 20.4 seconds, and I think Wacker, see if he spikes it or fakes the spike here. Just going to spike it. And McGill fans not happy that they ran 3 seconds off the clock here. I guess that's one of the disadvantages that the officials would feel, is how close the fans are right to him here running the clock.
No doubt about that. They like to be behind some tinted windows. The clock operator.
Could tell you some stories about broadcasting near the crowds up in rougher parts of Canada back in the hockey days that are a little scary. On the keeper, Wacker lowers the shoulder, and he's inside the 20, and now McGill going to use one of their timeouts with 9.8 seconds left. Now you got a couple of shots. McGill's got 2 timeouts left, so you got one for sure shot at the end zone. But if you go short of the end zone, you've got to get the first down or get the quick timeout. Now they wind the clock. McGill didn't use a timeout, I guess.
I don't think they realized that.
And now they float it to the corner of the end zone, and this one going to be intercepted easily. Trying to bring it out to about the 10-yard line. And that'll end the half. So 2 interceptions down deep. That's Andrew Jackson. Something wasn't going on great there with McGill coaching staff. Thought they had the timeout because they wound the clock, and all of a sudden.
Wacker and Keith Powell are talking about it right now, and maybe that's what Al can talk to Keith about. I'm sure he's really not happy with the way that half ended.
The Murphy band making their way.
At the very least, you have Toolen within field goal range. You got the talented kicker. You have the lead at the half, just about assuredly from that range.
The Murphy band all in full costume here tonight as we wait for Al to catch up with Coach Powell.
Let's see what these clowns are up to. Murphy band is really one of the finest you're going to hear year in, year out.
So we're waiting for Coach Powell and to catch up with Al Weed down the side. Let's go down to Al for a Winslow sideline report. He's down with the coach of the Yellow Jackets. Al.
Yes, sir, Coach. Very exciting first half. I know you guys started off on a little slow pace there. The quick pace of Murphy, we talked about that before the game. They got really coming at you.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they're not doing anything we wasn't prepared for. They just play a fast pace, and that's what you're supposed to do in that kind of offense. And, you know, second half is going to be the key to it. I mean, can we keep pace with them? I don't know. You know, our offense got to moving a little bit there, and we had our opportunity right there. We should have kicked the field goal instead of going for the end zone, but felt like we would have got either down the ball or scored with 3 seconds left. Maybe had a chance to kick field goal, but hey, that was my mistake, and we didn't do it.
Well, you definitely settled your guys down and put some points up on the board. Got it notched up 21-21. What are you going to talk to them about this second half?
Well, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. We got to get them to kick the ball to us a little bit. We got to get some 3 and outs and give our guys a chance.
All right, Coach, good first half. Do appreciate it. All right, Jim, back up to you. Very exciting first half, very fast paced. As we talked to Coach Powell about it before the game, he said he's still trying to keep up with the game film from last week. So as you can see tonight, the Panthers definitely bringing on the speed, Jim.
All right, thanks, Al, and thanks to Coach Powell for our Winslow sideline report there. Hey, our player of the week, you get to vote on him each week. Last week, Nico Elias, defensive end for Escambia County, the player of the week, and he talked to us about his award earlier this week. .42 points in the first half between these two teams. And again, these are 2 very good defensive football teams, but going up against a couple of potent offenses, and we'll see how potent the McGill offense is when they get the football to start it here in the second half, as it appears that Cullen Wacker, you would guess, is done for the night, but
you never want to put that in ink with Wacker. Wacker was well enough to throw the interception on the last play of the first half, but comes out here for the second half and straight to the bench, showing no real signs that he is ready to play at all.
McGill will get it. Jeremy Jones back deep, and I would guess Murphy is over there talking, saying try to angle it to one of the 2 men on either side of Jones so that they don't have to deal with it. LeSueur is back there, and Kyle Jones also back deep.
I tell you, LeSueur's no picnic either.
No. Good to see Kyle Jones back in the game as quickly as he was after taking that big hit. Jared Reed will kick off. There's a long conversation over there on the McGill sideline, the Murphy sideline, before they came out to kick. Just saying. They had talked for a while. That's all I was insinuating there.
I see.
Kyle Jones drops this one at the 14. And he's going to be hit right there, and that's where McGill will start, and Preston Messer will be out to lead this team at quarterback. The sophomore, 5'11", 176 pounds, will come in behind center.
Wacker just kind of silently by himself, sitting on the bench.
Bitter is a word that comes to mind. Motion is Doug Jones, and he'll pitch it off. Burrell on the right side, and Burrell across the 20 out to about the 24-yard line. Let's go get a Winslow sideline report from Al Wheaton. Al.
Jim talked with the trainer. It's an old knee injury. Maybe the one from last year during around this time when we were watching Mr. Wacker do his big playoff run with the McGill. But that knee's kind of acting up. And you know what? It's 21-21 right now. And they've got the backup in, and they're going to go with that. Also had a chance to talk with Coach Powell from Murphy. He said he was expecting this from McGill. He knew these guys were going to come out and put up a good fight tonight. So they're going to bring their A game as well in the second half, Jim.
Messer lost that one on the attempted handoff, had to keep it, and fell across the 25 to about the 26.
Well, I think you've got good blocking when you fumble it and get a first down. It's got to be some jitterbugs for young number 8, especially in a game like this.
Against your big rival.
Yeah,
Boy,
big crowd, TV.
Got to be really glad he played the whole game last week to just kind of get over getting in on the varsity in a big game. And he is definitely in that tonight. Play action, steps up, fires over the middle. He's got Jeremy Jones, and that'll calm some of those jitterbugs down as Jones out to the 42.
Looked fine on that one.
Right over the middle, and first down. Again, no interceptions last week, and is 7 for 13. Just a little play action enough to freeze the linebackers.
Yeah, the running game's been solid for McGill tonight, so the play action should be there.
Going to be 12 men on the field here for Murphy, but won't matter because it's a first down for Burrell across midfield.
Really impressed with the McGill-Toolen offensive line, Jim. They have blocked up front.
You're right. Pykuch, Powell, Harris, Hartley, Henriksen.
On the defense, we play first down.
So they're
lose yards there.
Yeah, I'm saying it's before the snap.
Before the snap, evidently.
But
so now it's 1st and 5, so that play never counted.
Messer gives it to Lomax, and he's across midfield. He'll pick up 4.
Murphy's starting to creep more people up to the line of scrimmage, too, especially with Messer in there. Trying to slow down this ground game. 2nd and 1, so they're still in good shape.
2nd and 1.
Have not seen, as Dan alluded to in the first half, Elijah Peters. We have not seen him in the backfield. Seen him on the stationary bike on the sideline a few times. Hard count, and it looks like the young quarterback is going to draw Ellis Patterson offside.
5 the easy way. You talk about a team that now has to rally. The McGill-Toolen, they've got the tied score, but they've got their leader and playmaker at quarterback, Wacker, on the sideline.
I don't know if it's good news or bad news that it's not the hamstring that he hurt 2 weeks ago. It was Burrell up the middle, little head fake at the 35, and he's down to the 29. I know we've talked before, and you talked with Coach Powell before, in that knee that we saw for McGill playoff games last year. That knee just, it's like it just has never quite gotten back to be 100%.
I was talking to Stacey Harrelson, too, with Encore, and he said it's one of those injuries that really doesn't ever quite go away, so I'm not the medic here. I'm not going to explain it, but Wacker's on the bench. We know that.
Burrell on the left side this time. It's the first time we've called Ben LePayne's name.
Yeah, LePayne's been silent tonight. They have knocked him back. Some trap blocking on the left side. LePayne able to get off a block and make a play. Burrell looks like he may be a little gimpy, too. It's a tough game now.
Oh, boy, it's been a tough 9 weeks.
A tough 9 weeks. It has been a very physical game with a lot of emotion tonight, as you see Cullen Wacker on the sideline. That does not look like a young guy who's preparing himself to get back in the game.
He has that aura of a do not disturb sign around him right now as well. 2nd and 6 on the keeper. Messer cuts it down to about the 21. Bring up a 3rd and short here for the Yellow Jackets.
Maybe you tried some way to get the ball maybe quickly into Jeremy Jones' hands on the outside of the...
Again, we've seen that package where Jones comes in at quarterback.
See if Jones doesn't just sit down at the 20-yard line and get a first down on a quick out.
You almost have to give him a big cushion because of his speed.
He's got it.
That's exactly what happens, and it's caught. And it's going to be good for a first down. Good call, good eyesight out there, Danny Boyan. Well, you just saw when Jackson was giving him a cushion, and then before the snap actually took a few steps back, and Jackson still almost got there in time.
Yeah. He sure did, and Jones is one of those guys, though, you have got to respect now. McGill has had troubles here again tonight, like we saw against Foley. Turnovers in the red zone.
Yep.
And that was with Cullen Wacker.
And now we see Peters come into the backfield for the first time tonight. Elijah Peters will take the pitch on the left side. He's got a block in front from Lomax, and he's down inside the 10.
Boy, he's got a lot of ability. If they can ever get it together, he's on the playing field more often.
Just a junior, just gone over 500 yards for the season now with that carry.
The linebacker last year.
Yep. Picks up 7 on his first touch of the night. Another hard count. Peters on the right side, breaks the tackle, but gets upended at the 5. LePayne came up and made the stop there. Also helping out was Dale, because it looked like Peters had a head of steam going.
Well, he did, because again, the blocking up front. That time it was Harris right in the middle and Hartley, Hendrickson. I mean, they're just knocking people back and giving these running backs a head of steam. And the safeties, it's look out. And how about the drive by the sophomore Messer?
He has been impressive, has not been rattled. 2 for 2 on the drive as well. They'll pitch it to Peters. Peters again, another block. He drops the shoulder, spins, touchdown Yellow Jackets.
Murphy is just not getting off their blocks, Jim. Several flags in the air after that thing. There's been a lot of emotion here tonight. A lot of it misspent, too. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
The officials have deemed it as misspent.
You'll see the touchdown will count. These were definitely after the play.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the defense.
Take the Heritage Homes replay there. And
yeah, you notice that Murphy defense, and I don't know where the flag comes in here, but I'll tell you, Jim, they're just on their heels defensively. You saw no pursuit there. Nearly that entire drive just driven off the line by McGill.
Maybe some of those adjustments you talked about as well, as Dolan has that one, and now they're going to get to be able to take the penalty on the kickoff, but Toolen put it in the end zone anyway. McGill comes out under the young quarterback. Drives in the field, and they lead now 28-21 on UTV 44 and Comcast. McGill, an impressive drive led by the sophomore Preston Messer. And Coach Ron Lee now going to have to see his team answer back offensively. Toolen. On to kick. And again, into the end zone.
I'm so glad that you're watching this game tonight, because this is what it's all about. These are the games that we do every Friday night, but our season has kind of come to this crescendo, and what a stage, what a couple of teams, and what a performance tonight offensively by both teams.
McGill needs it to win the championship. As you look at Cullen Wacker there, they're looking at an old knee and kind of an old knee injury that he suffered last year.
Central of Phoenix City.
Rouser fires that one, and that one was too hot to handle for Brand. We touched on this earlier. This is our last live Friday night game. Now, that's not our decision. It's one we've never agreed with and argued with now Coach Steve Savarese about as well. We just, we think the playoff game should be live. The state has this rule they won't be live. So starting next week, the games will be on Saturday night on a tape delay from Friday. Inside a handoff, and big Herb Williams comes in after some help from Keith Leatherwood to stuff Murphy. And let's take a look at that scoring drive. 5:48 they take up, 12 plays, 86 yards. And you said it best, Dan. That's half the quarter.
Yeah, with the young quarterback right there.
Now another potential 3rd and out here.
This is the way Theodore did it.
Near side, Polnitz. He's going to be pushed out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. And a 3 and out for McGill in impressive fashion.
Yeah, that was impressive. And LeSueur, very sure of himself. He's got good quickness on the corner there. And Polnitz is nobody to mess with, because you miss that tackle, and I'm telling you, Murphy's setting up for a PAT.
One of the LeSueur did a great thing there to make sure he just let go as soon as he got him out of bounds as well, because the officials have, some might have said, been a little hanky-happy at times tonight.
Yeah, but we're not down there, so we think they were trying to calm some emotions down early.
Rouser takes this one to Jeremy Jones, and Jones going back, and there's a flag for a block in the back. Jones still on his feet to the 40. And this one going to come back, marked at the spot of the fouls will be 41, so they'll back him up from there.
Might have been matching. They ended up with a bad angle, number 11. A guy really hustles, but that time they might have caught him right back around the 46-yard line.
Yep, and you could see it coming.
Oh, look at those cute little characters right there. We know you love your high school football, and we're sorry that we can't bring it to you every night on UTV 44. But games like this would be worth every night.
Absolutely.
I just say replay them. But since we can't do that, the Gulf Coast Superstation has got some pretty cool programming, like great episodes of The Simpsons every night at 6, King of the Hill at 6:30. A lot of laughs on UTV 44.
Put it back at the 36. I formation again, Peters. There's the deep man, and he'll take it on the left side and pushes to the 40. Good job on the left side of that McGill line, as they've done so well here tonight.
Now Murphy's going to start committing people up closer to the line of scrimmage, and we saw that Messer got a nice little arm on him.
Yep. He's 2 for 2 on that last drive.
Not for somebody dragging over the middle. If Murphy brings those safeties a little too far up, that middle of the field becomes wide open.
That's where his first completion was. Just a nice little touch over the middle, penetration, but Peters breaks a tackle. He'll pick up a couple.
None of Peters in the first half. We don't know the reason for that, but he's in there right now, and he could become a very instrumental part of this game for McGill Toolen. On the Murphy side, time to get a 3 and out, get it back, and get the same potion going on offense they had early in this game.
3rd and about, we'll call it a long 3. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Play clock at 5 as well. Looking to pass to the near side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jackson, and he sprints up the near side, cuts it back at the 20. Fourth McGill turnover of the night, and it's 1st and goal, Murphy. Sophomore quarterback, and he and Jones on the near side will watch. Receiver kept going.
Yeah, and also there were some play clock issues. It seemed that Messer was trying to get the play off quickly, so that's the first time we saw him react to some pressure. Pressure not necessarily in his face, but pressure of getting the play off and a third down, and it all goes haywire. Big turnover for Murphy.
Rouser fires it over the middle, wide open, touchdown to Rackley. One play and a touchdown, and we're a PAT from being tied up again.
What a game tonight.
Demetrius Rackley, his 2nd touchdown of the season. Again, getting the start tonight with Solomon Patton out. And Coot with a chance to tie it up. Low snap, it rolls back. And how about special teams now? And that one, trouble all over, and it's 28-27, a bad snap. 3:50 to go in the third quarter. Here on YouTube. Boy, a bad snap, and Christian Harwood, the backup quarterback for Murphy, had no chance on that one. It bounced 3 times before it got to him. And so Murphy, after the touchdown from Rouser to Rackley, it's 28-27, and Ron Lee. That's the thing. That grazed your hair as a coach, those missed PATs like that.
Ron was nice enough to give me a call last night. We were all concerned about Solomon Patton and the stories that were flying out about his health. The young receiver, great receiver, who's one of the top junior players in the state of Alabama, sitting this one out, had some chest discomfort yesterday. He's got a condition they're monitoring anyway, and spent a lot of the day yesterday getting tested at the hospital.
LeSueur at the 20 breaks a tackle, and if he can get the corner turned, he's got a lot of green. And they converge, and he's up to the 15. And we should say, following up on that as well, that Solomon Patton was cleared to play. Coach Ron Lee just held him out as a precaution, and he had a big smile on his face before the game. Hey, UJ Chevrolet, of course, #1 Chevy dealer on the Gulf Coast. You know where they're out in West Mobile. Big factory rebates now up to $8,000. Interest rates as low as 0%. You got that free 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty on all certified pre-owned cars. And the only place you can get that is UJ Chevrolet. Go out and see our friend Bud Urquhart at UJ and tell him we sent you. Again, thanks to Bud and UJ Chevrolet for all they've done for high school football over the years and years. We'll bring it back to Burrell, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Matt Thomas, his 2-year starters there for Murphy, comes in to make the stop. Boy, that intercept, really, it's almost, now you just, even though they had the botched extra point, you feel like the momentum has really just all of a sudden shifted to Murphy in this game.
You got the sophomore quarterback, and now everything looks a little bit like a higher, steeper mountain to climb. 2nd and 11 with Messer rather than Wacker seems more daunting.
Burrell up to the 20. LePayne there to make the tackle. So Mason been on the stop. And
that's what it comes down to, Jim. With the younger quarterback, you just cannot put him in positions, tough spots. With a veteran quarterback and a talented guy like Wacker, you can recover. You can make big plays on 2nd and 15, whatever. Younger guys, you're going to have to really base a lot of stuff on this run game. They're coming out of the eye right now with a lot of Elijah Peters.
And I think with an experienced quarterback, you have a whole different set of reads he can make so you don't make a mistake or put yourself in a bad position. He'll pitch it to Peters. Peters hops to the 20 and out to the, boy, he lunged out to the 25 there. Depending on his spot, he is going to be very close. And that looked like he was going to be bottled up at about the 22.
He's a big guy. He's a physical guy, and he can.
Ooh, this is 4th and inches.
But you got no choice here, though. And Murphy can kick a field goal from right here without even moving the ball.
They're going to ask for a measurement.
You are right. That is really close. UTV 44, your Gulf Coast Superstation, stirring up prime time Mondays. It's all about drama, tears, and giggles with Ladies' Night, Monday night on UTV 44. Here's the stretch of the chain, and what do we have here?
Wow.
Oh.
About 6 inches. I think they're going for it, Danny Boy. This is a big call here at your own 25. Now, we have seen Messer draw Murphy offside once and nearly do it a couple other times. They're going to go for it. Coach Powell sends his team off the sidelines. Lomax,
I
your
will reserve
fullback.
comment till after the play. How about that?
Peters, the tailback. Messer, the hard count. Trouble with the exchange, but he's got the first down. Boy, you thought maybe he was just going to try to draw him offside and then either take a penalty or call a late timeout.
It gets to a point where you're thinking, no, they're not going to do anything here. And maybe that's what Murphy thought, too.
But, boy, the trouble with the snap, the ball came loose as he was going across the line of scrimmage. It came up in his hands. But how about that for the sophomore quarterback?
Yeah, the quarterback and the coach, Keith Powell, what a call.
At his own 25. Fresh set of downs with a minute to go. McGill with the lead. They've won 2 in a row in this old rivalry here in Mobile. Peters dances to about the 33. Well, you know, you love the crowd. I always want the coach to go for it on 4th down, and then sometimes when it doesn't happen, I knew he should have punted it.
I tell you, at that point, at the 25-yard line, that was really a gutsy call. This is the region championship on the line.
Yep.
We're just about into the 4th quarter now, but the 25-yard line. My word. I'm telling you, when Peters is given the opportunity,
he makes something happen.
Yeah, he shows he can carry the football.
Jones in motion, and he'll take it. Avoids a tackler in the backfield and lunges to about the 36.
With Murphy linebackers, safeties committing up against the run more and more now. You're watching this. The time it's Devin Powell, who's a stand-up outside linebacker, but he's on a run blitz there. He's not coming after the quarterback because he's not expecting Messer to do anything right there. They know what's coming. There's going to be a lot of Peters, and that may have been the final play of this period.
They're going to measure here, and I think if you're Keith Powell, even if they're short, you just let the clock run out and start the 4th quarter with 3rd and short.
Shorten this game any way you can.
Absolutely. This one a little longer than the 4th down situation, but not by much. What a game we have had here tonight. Each and every week bringing you the game of the week here on UTV 44 and Comcast, and it has lived up to the billing every week.
Cullen Wacker's now seated where at least he can see the proceedings. He's kind of on a speaker stand, but around midfield, resting his leg, but being able to see the action.
It's just Keith Powell is trying to tell Messer, don't even take a snap. And they'll let the clock run out. We've played 3 quarters, half a lip. McGill on top, 28-27. They've got the ball as we start quarter number 4 on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Everybody.
3 quarters complete. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Al Whedon on the sideline, Jared Kihas, our entire UTV 44 crew, including Brian Aaron, our statistician, to our right in the booth here. A great one here at McGill. 28-27. There's Cullen Wacker. Played the first half, of course, coming back from that hamstring injury, and then an old knee injury flaring up. They'll sideline him, and so Preston Messer, the sophomore quarterback, has led the Jackets so far in some trouble nearly on the handoff with Lomax, but Lomax moves it out for a first down to the 45.
Seemed like the right side of the line was on one count. It's a half a step quicker than the left side of the line for McGill Toolen, but regardless.
Lomax
almost scored sound.
And he and Messer carried that one together across the line of scrimmage.
That's teamwork right there.
Peters up the middle, shakes the shoulders, and he's going to be good for another McGill first down to the 39.
This is I formation SEC 25 years ago right here.
You're right. Has Murphy had it just the one time here in the second half so far?
Well, the first drive.
Well, they had it the one time, and then the one-play scoring drive. That's right.
That's right. You're right. So they had about 4 offensive plays.
Burrell, good penetration that time by Devin Powell.
I don't know how cute you want to get if you're Keith Powell, but obviously running the ball as well as they have start to give you some good shots. Downfield a little bit, but you're running the clock here, and that's what you want to do too.
And you're moving the ball effectively.
Yep.
And your defense has really risen up since the first quarter and started playing better.
Defense didn't show up till the second quarter, just about from McGill Toolen.
Burrell on the left side, a big hole, and he gashes through, and he's inside the 30 to the 29.
Tell you where the gashing is going too, Jim. It's really that line is so quick off the ball right now from McGill Toolen. Not a big line like we've talked about time and time again, but man, they are firing out.
Hey, don't forget, coming up at midnight tonight, you can get on UTV44.com and vote for your player of the game for this week, and we got a few to select from here tonight. UTV44.com, our player of the week, brought to you, of course, by Harbor Communication and Spectrum Collision. The pitch to Peters on the right side, waiting for a block from Lomax, and he'll pick up a couple. That first down was the 20th first down tonight here for McGill.
This McGill student section is something else. Most of the entire game, they are on their feet. They just kind of take it upon themselves. Nobody sits. What a crowd, what an atmosphere here tonight. Just as good as it gets.
A great facility just completed this year here.
There you get a look at the McGill. Yep. Yeah, that's the student section now.
Down here to our left.
If they care to sit down, there's bleachers under each one of them, but they don't want to.
They could have saved a little money on the construction. Fakes the pitch, and now he's buried in the backfield. Back to the 31. That's going to be a loss of about 4. Ellis Patterson, along with Raymond Hennenberg there.
Yeah, Hennenberg, not just up high like a little nose butt kiss action right there.
On the young quarterback. So 3rd and 11.
Well, the treat has been Peters and Lomax, and they tried to trick him right there. Murphy didn't bite.
3rd down and 11. Messer, play action, looking over the middle. Fires this one high in the air, looking for Valet. He's got it. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Great play on the ball by Valet.
5th touchdown of the season for Valet. And a 31-yard strike from Messer to Valet. And the Yellow Jackets answer big on 3rd and 11.
Zach Valet goes about 150 pounds, but watch the fight he puts on to make sure he catches this ball down there. He's got the position, but he's not giving it up. Nice job by Valet. Big throw by Messer, had one-on-one down the heart of the field and got it.
Jackson was back there on the coverage, and it's a strong arm by Messer that he displayed on that long throw, and Dolan puts this one on the roof. And McGill now up by 8, 35-27. Stick around as we go to break. We'll show you the touchdown again.
watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
McGill with the lead, 35-27, and Zach Ballet, a senior on senior night here tonight, just caught a 31-yard touchdown pass from that young man, Preston Messer. His third touchdown pass of the season, and Ballet putting together a big night, Dan. 4 catches, 119 yards.
Big night for Ballet, and Messer, too, is, how about that? He's led McGill to 2 big scoring drives in the second half as Wacker watches from the sidelines. Look at that kick.
Toolen.
It's not like the wind's out of the south tonight, y'all. That would be a southerly wind helping that one, but if you step outside, you know it's not.
6:44, so a 5:48 drive and a 6:44 put together by Messer so far. That one 13 plays, 85 yards, capped off by the 31-yard strike. Messer so far 3 for 4 with a 59-yard total. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Can we say he's grading out well? Tell you what's helped so much has been that offensive line and that running game has really been his friend here in the second half.
And here's Matt Rouser just for his 5th snap of the second half with 8:48 to go, and his team down 8. 7-1, 8-1 on the year, I should say, as Murphy in that one nearly intercepted, is thrown between 2 defenders, and Leatherwood was back there, and he thought he was going to have a pick.
Murphy's having all kinds of trouble trying to keep Matchin out of the backfield, too. And he's a big rangy guy that makes it tough on Rouser.
First play of the game, he was in there, and this is Jarvis Boone, and Boone darts to the outside, and he's going to have a Murphy first down. That missed extra point looming large. Murphy will score, knowing they have to go for 2. Rolling out, Rouser feeling pressure, now reverses his traction as a flag. It's going to be a hold. Rouser ended up picking up a couple, but this one's going to come back, and all the way at the 26 is where they threw the flag.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Murphy, but anytime the runner changes direction like that, it creates a lot of bad angles for the blockers.
Jordan Haynes was coming in from the backside.
Give McGill credit, though, stringing it out and not allowing him to find anything coming to the right.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
If you weren't with us early, it looked like McGill was going to have to do everything in their power to keep this thing from getting ugly against them. Murphy was out to a 14-0 lead and moving it at will.
Absolutely. There's Matt Rouser. 1st and 25. Boone up the middle. He'll pick up a few with a late lunge. Matchin in there. As we approach 8 minutes left here, as you get a look at Leatherwood. He's played well at linebacker tonight.
You get the question a lot, Jim, who's the best team out there? And I think we probably all answered. Tonight is a good example of that. We're not sure.
Yep, I think the coaches would say the same thing. Everybody is so evenly matched. Rouser with time, zings this one over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted. Not expecting it was Schneider. Looked up, and all of a sudden the ball was right in his hands.
It was a fastball, too. Schneider playing center field right there. He's a good player.
Was looking for Polnitz. Just watching the Heritage Homes instant replay.
Well, that was way behind Polnitz, that's for sure.
Rouser, 9 of 18 on the night. Boone having a nice night. He's at 93 yards.
Rouser started real fast.
Looking to go to Polnitz on the far side. It's tipped and incomplete. And on 3rd and 23.
There's LeSueur again.
McGill.
Sorry, that's not LeSueur. That's Nettles making the play on the other side.
Tough coverage going up against Polnitz, and McGill's defense has really stepped it up, and they've gotten Murphy out of that rhythm. And you made a great point, kind of like we saw about 3 weeks ago, Dan, when Theodore really established a ground control, a ground game, and controlled the clock.
Yeah, Murphy's getting bobcapped again. You know, McGill page right out of that book.
Rouser, Jeremy Jones at the 44. Jones. And there's going to be a flag. Jones at the 40. Has a gap and a big hole, looking for another block. Gets up the near sideline, but this one is coming back, and Jones lunges for the goal line. Got to the 1, but
all for naught.
As this one will come way back. Flag at the 45.
Matt LePayne back there to happily help the official find the flag. There was the block in the back. But what talent by Jones regardless.
We talked about the game changer he can be.
Block in the back on the return team. The first down.
And you see that at the high school level, and you see it on Saturday afternoons, and you see it on Sunday afternoons, blocking the backs on kick returns. It's not, you just see it.
But for some reason, and I don't know what this is, and studies have been done and nothing conclusive, never at NFL Europe on like a Wednesday night in Heidelberg.
Maybe that's why the league folded. Maybe they couldn't.
No, you're right. From the lowest level to the top level, blocking the back.
One thing Dan and I excelled in our short football careers, blocking in the back, is Peters. This one's going to come back. He lost the football right in front of Ron Lee, but this is a holding call. This one's going to come back.
No, this one's really going to mess him up, down and distance-wise.
That was going to be another first down. 7 minutes, and now if you're Murphy, you're starting to wonder, holy smokes, are we going to get the football back here? The way McGill is eating up the clock?
Well, if you let Peters go 60 yards, you are, but that's not the way you want to get it back. You almost busted one there.
On the offense, replay first down.
I'll tell you, the McGill-Toolen offensive line has controlled things much the same as Theodore did against Murphy.
You're right.
They really knocked him back off the ball.
First and now 18 after the penalty. They'll give it to Lomax right up the middle. Keeps the legs churning.
We're so glad you can watch the game with us here, but we wish you had this kind of all-access pass like we have before the game on the field.
Yep.
Just kind of visiting with the teams as they were getting ready. We were almost, in their way as they were getting themselves ready, going through drills, and you could feel the intensity on both sides. I know this game was supposed to mean more to McGill, Toolen than Murphy. If you want to look at region stands and whatever, I don't buy that.
Yeah, and the coaches both were quick to say, hey, it's not just another game to close out the regular season. Here's Peters on the right side. He's got a first down for the Yellow Jackets all the way near midfield. And how about the difference this young man has made? Did not play a touch in the first half, but Burrell was running the ball very well in the first half, but he seems to have more of that big play capability.
He's been a dominating back here in the second half, and he's taken a lot of that pressure off the sophomore quarterback Messer. When we saw Wackers sitting out to start the second half, we're thinking this is not good news at all for McGill. This really tilts the field toward Davidson for the second half, but that's not been the story. Messer's been pretty solid, and Peters has been spectacular.
Peters again spins at the line and pick up a few.
And let's say again that the offensive line has just been a constant.
Yep.
Because they were solid in the first half.
But again, Pykuch, Powell, Harris, Hartley, Henriksen. The moms love it when we mention when they're doing good things. Poor linemen only talk about them when there's a holding call.
I know. No, but tonight they deserve it, much like that group at Theodore a few weeks back.
3 for Peters. Lomax straight up the middle, and he's got a first down and more inside the 30 to the 25 and wrestled out of bounds. And a late flag is going to add more to it. Nothing fancy, like Dan said, kind of like the SEC 25 years ago, right up the middle. And let's watch at the end of the play here. Powell kind of rode him down.
Yeah, a lot of physical activity way outside of him. And a guy that we haven't talked much about tonight.
On the defense, half the distance to the goal.
Great block against Spriggs on the outside by Quentin Petty, number 9. the receivers have got to block for your rushing game to go too.
Timeout going to be taken here. 5:10 to go. McGill on top and threatening again on UTV 44 and Comcast.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
McGill trying to make it 3 in a row. I wonder if there's been a primer coat put on the cannon yet.
The cannon is under supervision right now of the Mobile Police Department.
Here comes Lomax on the left side, an 11-yard scamper. And McGill was down 14-0 in this game, and now it's 41-27 with a PAT coming.
Unbelievable.
And again, Dan, untouched. The offensive line on the left side, Pykuch and Powell.
And it's not like Murphy doesn't know McGill's running the football. They've been doing it constantly since the second period.
They've thrown it 3 times in the second half. If I'm not 4 times, they've...
And this is 3 of 4.
Yep. Here comes Dolan. (42-27). 5 minutes to go. And we'll tell you about the people bringing you tonight's game and ones that have been bringing it to you for all 10 weeks of the season. They're the ones that make the Game of the Week possible, including Harbor Communications. You'll be able to vote on the player of the game, brought to you by Harbor Communications. Heritage Homes, instant replay all season long, brought to you by friends at Heritage Homes. Also UJ Chevrolet, Butterkit, and all the folks out there. Mobile's #1 Chevy dealer, UJ Chevrolet. Nobody sells more Chevys on the Gulf Coast. The Orthopedic Group, also a proud supporter of high school football tonight. Wenzel's Oyster House. Bob Omansky, the good folks at Wenzel's. Location on the Eastern Shore, which is my personal favorite, right by my house and office. And Will 2, also a big supporter of high school football. Thanks to Wes Williams. Always great to see when we see Wes before the game, and saw him here tonight.
Is this the same McGill-Toolen team that, from all accounts, struggled against Baldwin County last week?
Boy. And really kind of imploded down the stretch against Foley. Dolan continues. He just doesn't let him play with his ball. It's just the way it's quite that simple.
Yeah, you will start at the 20, and you will like it.
Well, 5:04, and Murphy down by 2 scores. You know, Keith Powell, when we asked him before the game, Dan, you specifically said, we were talking to him on the 40, he said, when you watch Murphy on film, what did you see? And his response was...
Speed.
Yeah. He said, matter of fact, I hadn't seen him yet. He said they're so dang fast on the film.
Yeah, that's right.
I hadn't seen him.
Well, they've contained the speed from about the first quarter on.
Rouser's pass is tipped.
They contained Rouser, too, because Rouser was running rough shot. He was making big plays in the air and has really been silenced. I mean, he was off to an incredible start with nearly 200 yards of total offense early in that first half.
And the offense looks frustrated right now, and you wonder... Dropping back. Again, Rouser. Cuts it up the middle. Now he breaks a tackle, and Matt Rouser stumbles across the 40. They'll mark him right at the 40, and now we got pushing and shoving over here, and now more of it. Oh, and now this one getting really nasty on the McGill side.
I'll tell you what, too, that thing was over.
Yep, no question about it.
And then, and I'm afraid that Clark really, this is not good.
Elliott Clark was the one having his face mask grabbed.
Yeah, and it just, at that point, wasn't necessary at all. I mean, it really was not necessary at all. That thing was, it was kind of a 2-on-1 Murphy deal, right on the McGill sideline. Let's see how they sort this thing out.
Mark McLean. Now, Coach Ron Lee was out at midfield.
Hard to believe there's no flag on this after some of the flags we saw earlier. There's got to be something here.
Oh, boy, and they're saying... They want to get everybody back to the sidelines, and it was Clark and McLean, and McLean had 2 handfuls of face mask on Elliott Clark right in front of Coach Powell over here on the near side.
I mean, if you're going to do it, don't do it there, first of all. That's enough to bring Wacker off the bench, I can tell you that.
Boy, this just got, there was pushing and shoving in 2 different areas, but it really escalated.
It was kind of a 2-on-1 where Clark was being blocked right at the McGill sideline. It was It's away from the play, so we might not have caught it on camera, but man, it got our attention because it was way over the top. And it went from pushing and shoving to just grabbing a helmet and a face mask and ripping at it over and over. Yeah.
Two hands, yeah. And both coaches trying to get out to keep it from escalating.
I don't see a flag, which blows my mind.
There's got to be one over here. I don't know if Al was down there. Okay. There is a flag that we just can't see, but boy, we had everybody on the support staff of McGill was out on the field keeping everybody together. And then Ron Lee was out on the field making sure his crew stayed on their side as well.
Man, that could have gotten real ugly real quick. I'm understanding that most of what we saw was off screen.
Yeah.
So you didn't see it, but it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't the best in high school football, which most of this game has been excellent.
Unsportsmanlike against the white team and an ejection.
And McClain.
Well, see, if you have an ejection, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it was the 54, Mark McClain. I believe. I believe that's to us, and I don't want to accuse a young man.
Well,
but no, that's not the case because 54 is still getting ready to snap the ball. But I was pretty sure he was the one to the near side. But again,
we'll try to get confirmation on who is now out of the game.
But I'm not sure. Yeah, because I thought that was the case, but McClain is in there, so maybe
it's clear his name.
Didn't see. Yeah, maybe we didn't see correctly, but.
Well, that's the last thing you want to see. And thank heavens it didn't get worse, too, because.
Rolling to the near side. Rouser fires it up and incomplete. And then a flag's going to come over the top. It may have been 74, and that's the last time I'm going to guess. It may have been 74, not 54. McClain, if that's the case, it was Shelby Irwin.
I can tell you this, since you didn't see it at home, and here comes Rouser with the pass. And yeah, they got. It was 74, by the way.
Yeah, it was Shelby Irvin, so my apologies to Mark McClain.
But it was a kind of action where things could quickly escalate from that. It was a seed that could have expanded in a lot of ugly ways, and thank heavens it did not.
Cooler heads prevailing.
Yes.
Because it was on the McGill side. And when you have one player from the opposing team involved with a whole bunch of his teammates around him here who's being roughed up,
a little bit, yeah.
But let's we'll move on to where we are here is McGill, the 42-27 lead, and Murphy trying to answer back. Rouser, pressure. Clark will get him around the ankles.
Yeah, Clark couldn't wait. Clark could not wait to make a play right now, and it just has, tweaked up and amped up this intensity again. You think in the waning moments of a 42-27 game that there might be a little lackadaisical feel to McGill. Not now. Look out, there's still some hits going to be dealt out on both sides.
Rouser on 3rd and 11, fires to the near side, and there's one, and Polnitz holds on. He's going to be short of the first down. Keith Powell saying no catch, but they'll say it was a complete catch. LeSueur made the stop, and that's going to bring up 4th and very short.
He's a yard short, though, Jim. You're right. Yeah, I just got the words out of my mouth. You won't see just tackles at this point. You're going to see some smacks.
And we still got a lot of time left. 3:25 here. 4th and short. Rouser rolling out. Look for Harlow Sprand. Instead going to try to run it. He's dropped. Jordan Haynes there to make the big stop.
Yeah, somebody cleaning up too with a nice pop on the quarterback on Rouser. And Murphy really paying right there. They're paying for that penalty. I'm telling you, in intensity. Haynes, and then who's cleaning up right there? On the ground for McGill Toolen.
Haynes had him up high, and
it shocked me if it was Clark all over again, but
You know, the emotion that came after the penalty, but also the 15 yards. 15 yards, and you lose a starting offensive lineman also.
You're right.
And again, my apologies to Mark McLean and his family if we misidentified that young man. Now McGill gets it back. Peters on the left side is inside the 40. Each team with 3 timeouts left, and Murphy going to have to start thinking about using those.
Everybody's going to have to kind of stay calm here, too, because...
And think of this. These 2 teams could meet in the playoffs again.
Ooh.
Second and 4. Messer, and there's, I think, Peters moved before. So that'll bring this one back.
Second down.
Down to 2:23 here after they.
Ball is back at the 44, where it will be 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
Clock running, and McGill not in a huge hurry to snap it as Messer will watch it get down under 10, and Peters on the left side, another huge hole, and Elijah Peters has come in the second half, and he has changed this ball game, and this time it's a 44-yard touchdown. Really changed the complexity of this game. And the offensive line doing such a great job. And that left side, huge holes there.
I'll tell you what, it has been constant, but Peters really makes you pay, and especially at this point, a tired Murphy defense as McGill puts up, it looks like they're about to put up 49 against Murphy.
Murphy, who had 1 loss.
With a second-string quarterback in the second half.
This one nearly blocked, but Dolan is good, and it's 49-27. This one was 21-21 at the half.
Anybody's game.
And Wacker hasn't touched the ball in the second half. And 28 fourth-quarter points by McGill behind Messer and Elijah Peters. Our game's brought to you tonight by Chris Myers Nissan, Highway 98 in Daphne. Also by Spectrum Collision, LA Body Art, Music and Sound Center, Encore Rehabilitation, Skipper and Story Walter. Skipper was just in the booth a minute ago saying hello to us, and Comcast Cable. 154. I don't think a lot of people would have. People would have predicted this as the final score, Dan.
You know, what we're talking about pregame, and I was saying, boy, this Murphy defense has got the chance to give McGill Toolen a lot of problems. Well, 28 in the second half with your reserve quarterback. It's been all McGill Toolen offensive line. That I doubt that they've had a better game this year against a quality opponent.
Boy, and you kind of really feel McGill needed this. They're going to win the region. They're going to be region champions. That's huge, and emotion playing a big part of that, I'm sure. But, you know, they lost to Foley. They struggled against Baldwin County. Quarterback's dinged up. Now they're playing their big rival. And, you know, as amped up as McGill was, Murphy was the same.
We felt it, before the game.
How about Peters in the second half? 15 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. And now
nominee, huh?
Harwood is in replacing Rouser at quarterback.
But Matson has been everywhere tonight, too. That kid applies a lot of pressure, gets in the backfield.
From the first snap of the game tonight.
Yep, to right now, number 11.
I think Coach Lee saying, hey, I'm going to pull Matt Rouser out. No reason for take a chance at an injury here in the last drive of tonight's game. Christian Hartwood in at quarterback. Boone slung down by Matchin.
Caveman style right there.
Matchin at 6'1", 200 pounds. Don't forget, you can log on at midnight tonight. Who are you going to vote for the player of the game? All 3 selections from McGill. Elijah Peters, Zach Ballet, 4 catches, 119 yards and a touchdown. McGill offensive line, they played great tonight.
You know, we're thinking about Messer a little bit too, the quarterback that comes in the second half.
Yep.
And throws.
And how about the McGill defense?
Touchdowns.
The McGill defense.
Yeah. From the first period on, starting the second quarter, they have really turned everything around against this Murphy offense that was gaining yards and scoring touchdowns like nobody's business to start out this game.
Boone, who is over 100 yards. Nice game for that young man here tonight. Now Murphy's going to have to regroup. They go up against Fairhope. I'll say hello to Coach Mark Lassiter, was here in the first half and told us he was heading home at half to catch the second half of this game on TV. And hello to Coach Lassiter, one of our favorites over in Fairhope.
Yeah.
Down to 25 seconds, and Harwood will keep it on the right side and out across the 40. And that will do it, and it's 3 in a row, and the cannon will be painted orange and black. It may already be.
Oh, it's already orange and black. Let's make sure there's some sportsmanship. I know it's a happy team here on the McGill side. I'm very disappointed, dejected Murphy group, but there's a lot of prideful schools and a lot of good kids we know on both teams. So
8-2. Each team ends the season. Each team region champions. And Coach Powell and Coach Lee over having some. We found out Coach Lee actually coached here at McGill back in the late 80s.
Yep.
Was the defensive backs coach here, probably early in his coaching career.
That's right. That's right. And if we knew that, if we'd heard that before, it was one of those things that escaped our memory. But that's why these coaches so many know each other so well and have coached with each other. And that's the sportsmanship we were hoping to see here after a hard-fought game. But, man, a very impressive game by this McGill-Toolen team the last 3 quarters of this game.
Hey, it's our last regular season game. Want to thank all the folks that we don't give enough attention to during the year. Jared Kihas, who is our executive producer here. All of our fine folks. Mark Joseph, along with Dan Long, John Miller on cameras, Rodney Middlebrook, Jonathan Broswell, Michael Adore, Brian Aaron up here, our statistician as always, Van Allen, Rodney Middlebrooks, Jonathan Broswell, Van Lang, along with Vance Lane, Van Allen, Eric Lowe, Phil Huber, Jason Welch, Kevin Sibley down there in the sidelines tonight. Jason Welch, he gets on there twice. John Miller, also Justin Blankenship, Jesse Day, Eric Coleman, Thomas McDonald, Chris Fillingham, Mike Coppersmith, who was dressed up tonight as a Will Ferrell character, and really not that unusual on a Friday night for him. Tim Reed, Bill Couch, Kristen Mosley, of course, Shay Grandquist, general manager at UTV 44, who lets us do this each and every Friday night. And again, that will conclude our regular season. And there's Cullen Wacker, and let's go down to get our final regular season Wenzel-Sidler report from Al with Coach Powell.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Coach Powell. Great win tonight. This makes you the region champ for you, and you already know who you're facing next week.
That's right. I'll tell you what, I take my hat off of these kids. We were down 14-0. Things didn't look real good, but they didn't quit. They came back and they fought, and in the second half, our offensive line just took control.
Absolutely. You guys won't have to have that coin flip later on tonight. Talking about your second half performance, but going to the locker room and ask you about Murphy's speed. I mean, you guys came out and put 28 points up here in the second half yourself.
Well, you know, a lot of times when you're facing speed, you can't go east and west a lot, and we just tried to go north and south. And our offensive line made their mind up at halftime. They said, put it on us, Coach, because Cullen was out in the second half, so they said, Coach, just put it on our backs. We didn't do it last week, so let's get it done this week.
Backup quarterback came in and did a great job. Talking about your running back's performance, Mr. Elijah Peters, he was definitely running the ball for you there.
Yeah, Elijah, he came and had a great week of practice, and I told him, I said, if you come in and you practice well, you're going to play on Friday night. And he was that 1-2 punch, him and Mr. Burrell tonight. They were the 1-2 punch I've been looking for a while. And, you know, that's just the type of back he can be when he wants to come to practice and play hard. And he's a very talented young man, and he showed it tonight.
Well, I know you don't want to look too far down the line. The first playoff win is next week, but possibly you guys could possibly meet again if you keep winning on here, and you would have the upper hand, I guess, with this win tonight.
Well, you know, we're just going to enjoy this one tonight. This is the seniors' third region championship in a row. They're the winningest class that's ever been in the McGill in football history. We're going to let those guys enjoy that tonight. We'll go to Montgomery and do the meetings in the morning and Sunday. The coaches get back to work and let these guys enjoy it, because you don't win 3 region championships very often, and it's time to enjoy it for tonight.
Well, congratulations, Coach. We do appreciate you having us out once again.
Thank you, and looking forward to having you again next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. That wraps it up right here down in the field, Jim. Great win tonight, great emotional win. It almost seemed like a playoff atmosphere, and maybe that's what exactly needed, because next week is round 1. And it looks like we may be back with you again right here from the lip, Jim.
All right, thanks, Al. And it will be Blount and McGill round 1. Let's clear up the playoff schedule just quickly here now, with McGill being the region champions. That sets up a Thursday night game here.
Yeah, Jerry, he said he's going to try to make it.
A Thursday night game here at the lip. Davidson and Foley will play. Next Friday night, Daphne and Theodore. And then you've got McGill going up against Blount. So there's your matchups. And, of course, Murphy and Fairhope rounding out those 4 games between the 8 teams in Mobile and Baldwin County.
Yeah, and nothing going to come easy next week against a very talented Blount team that's played very solid defense all year long.
And been playing for their lives for the past 4 weeks.
They sure have. Pulled out a great win against Williamson to get in the playoffs. And I love that right there, the cannon. Uh-oh, someone's actually loaded the cannon, it looks like now. That's the first time in centuries, I think. But, yeah, it'll be black and orange tonight.
Yeah, go to UTV44.com tonight at midnight, and you can vote on the player of the game. Was it Elijah Peters coming in the second half, Zach Ballet with the big performance tonight, or that McGill offensive line who really took the game over tonight? And, boy, we could talk about more. Brett Matchin on defense. I mean, there's lots of players we could talk about.
Talk about a game that just had schizophrenic personalities too, because when this thing started out, boy, Murphy looked like they were going to shake, run, and be gone.
It was 14-0 Murphy.
Yeah, very quickly. So congratulations to McGill for their 3rd straight region championship. Also congratulations to Murphy, losers here tonight, but winners of their region as well.
Absolutely. This McGill senior class on senior night, winningest football team in the history of McGill Toolen, the senior class. So again, thanks to Jared Kihas, our executive producer, Brian Aaron, our statistician, Al Whedon on the sidelines, Dan Brennan here with me in the booth. I'm Jim Cox. Our final score here tonight, 49-27. Each team 8-2, each team region champions. And we're done with the regular season, but the playoffs start next week. Again, tape delay next Saturday night. You'll be able to see it right here on UTV 44 and Comcast.
Look at that.
You're watching the UTV 44 Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Encore Rehabilitation.
More sports,